these two players.
So on the right-hand side, spawning as the pink Zerg is KS.aGaham. And in the bottom left as the blue Protoss is going to be Fnatic's Harstem. And my F key appears to be broken.
Oh dear.
So, oh god, oh god, oh god. My keyboard is dying. I don't have capabilities. There we go. I can hit H. Oh no, it's my shift key. My shift key's gone. So, there we go. How annoying.
I can just hear you tapping away, and I don't want to interrupt how angry you're getting in your keyboard, to be honest. Like,
it's so hard. I've got to hit my caps lock every time I want to put a capital in.
Yeah. Now this is really interesting. By interesting, I mean a bit of an odd build. KS.aGaham is gone to Extractor Trick, and is just going to go for an 11 pull. But after he got his Overlord finished.
Yeah, that is a very strange build. So
usually you tend to go 11 or 10 pull, then go the Extractor Trick.
Yeah, and Harstem's going to get a scout off, so he knows exactly what's happening. And I believe it was last week we did see loads of people. Who was that Zerg? He just kept was it 10 pooling him or 6 pooling? He just kept early pooling him, and he lost every single game because Harstem just walled off and was like, "I'm not going to lose to this because I scout."
And it's a safe thing to do, and it's always pro players are so used to it ultimately that there's going to be this coming down, and Harstem even going for the good luck with the early pull as he completes his wall off. And I mentioned this early on that, yeah, as I said, the wall off for a Protoss player on this map is so easy. You can get a complete wall off really simply. You put a pylon down, and with a gateway and a forge, there's nothing coming through there.
No, nothing's coming through there at all. I mean, you just drop a pylon and cancel it whenever. Yep, and there we go. Probe gonna hug that there, and I don't know what his plan is now. Just gonna expand as well. That's the only option he really has. He can't put too much pressure on, but he can prevent the Protoss from dropping any proxy pylons if he denies any probes leaving the space.
Now the other thing as well with this early pull is even after it was scouted, still 6 Zerglings came down, and this wall off, well, it's easy now.
Yeah.
And if you know it's been scouted, I don't really see why you get the why you get the Zerglings down.
No, not that many anyway. I mean, you could delay them, but you'd still need 4 Zerglings out at some point. But yeah, going for 6 immediately is a bit strange. But he does get his hatchery down, and it's halfway done before the Nexus drops. So that is a bonus, because oftentimes you see these Protosses going straight for Nexus first, and you see the Nexus going down before the hatchery does, and it kind of puts the Zerg player behind right from the get-go.
Well, it does, because you're on equal basis, and now that's why KS.aGaham is going to take his third really quickly. As soon as he's got 300 minerals, he will have to take his third base, and if he doesn't, he'll get himself massively behind. But that third has got to stay up. It's going to be such a weak point. Harstem almost certainly going to go for some heavy 2-base aggression.
He will, and he'll probably drop that proxy pylon on the high ground up here at this top base, and then use that to warp in and just attack along this pathway up here. Because I mean, that's the best way to do it, because you've got so many choke points and walls that you can put your back against, which is really helpful against fighting Zerg.
So now, where do we go? Really, it's going to be Harstem macroing up for a 2-base play. I pretty much guarantee that it will be a 2-base all-in. There's no reason you try and take a third as Protoss on this map unless you want to lose. And ultimately, KS.aGaham did no damage with his early aggression, so he got himself behind for 0 benefit.
And something Harstem did, he did get the scout off on that building third, so he knows which third's been taken, and he knows I'm not going to have to deal with aggression for the recent future.
And if you don't have to deal with that aggression, then you can cut some corners. Basically, you can really just prioritize getting the probes out. May even just tech straight up into either a robotics facility or a Stargate.
You might. We are seeing +1 go down on the ground weapons, and Roach 1 coming down, which is very normal to see.
Now, what would you do if you did, for example, go for a Stargate on this map? I would be in preference of Phoenix as opposed to an Oracle.
Yeah, it's really hard to get at these mineral lines in the main and natural. There's no escape routes. So I mean, once you're in there, you're in. And
but then the third,
it makes it very easy for you to lose oracles. The third is more open, yes, but
with Phoenix, it's easy because you've got so much speed.
And plus, there's just so much. You can clean up all of these overlords. That's one thing about Phoenix is that people forget. It's like, oh, flying supply, just kill them all off.
Now, the other thing as well is obviously that there's no watchtower, so if you clear out the overlords, there's no map vision. But
exactly.
Harstem, he's got +1, so it's unlikely to be a Stargate. To be honest, he's getting a bit late. Yeah, but he hasn't started the robotics.
Yeah, exactly. Usually you see gateway straight into robo, and then the extra gateways added. But it looks like just a mass gateway build, and he's building a third as well. So looks like he wants to take this game slightly later than we anticipated.
Yeah, I'm so surprised he hasn't gone for a 2-base play, because he's just going to go for some 4-gate pressure while taking up and taking his third, which is not a bad thing. But on Neo Planet, I just don't understand why you wouldn't go for a 2-base all-in.
I don't either, but with the delay on speed, it can prove to be quite handy that he's going for this little poke.
Yeah, because without that, well, there's no roaches currently down on the field.
Yeah.
And speed, as you said, is hugely delayed. There's no upgrades, and that just means that actually Harstem can have a really nice opportunity window with that +1 ground weapons.
Yeah, and I want to see if he's going to use that. He'll probably take the mothership core along with him and use that recall. Just put a little bit of pressure on and...
Well, actually taking up the Queen there at the third, so that's really nice. The Zealots just chipping away at so many drones. This is painful to watch.
Yeah, and how many drones has he lost right now? 6 workers killed, so he's done plenty already. And
he's delaying mining time as well.
Yeah, and he can recall these if he wants to, or he can just fight the drones in a straight-up fight. The spine crawler's not going to go down.
And even if he, well, more than anything, even if he does, if he kills off this third, which he really will be able to now because the mothership core can do it, then Harstem secured his own third. Now there's no option other than for KS.aGaham to go for a big all-in push.
Yeah, I know, he needs that, but the problem is his speed's just finished, but he's got a large roach force. No roach speed, so he's got to wait for that. And this mothership core, I mean, the Queen's just coming up now to get it, but it's done so much damage already. Just its presence there meant that he couldn't go back and take this third base immediately. Yeah,
this is going to be incredible.
Yeah, a lot of sentries on the field here. He's going to have to go up to the top of this ramp and just kind of slice parts of the army off it. One bit at a time.
And now, well, I'm looking around at this, and basically, I'm just trying to work out if there's anything at all that KS.aGaham can do, and ultimately he's got to really do tremendous damage with this. If this third for Harstem stays up, late game is just not going to work, and Harstem, he's already got an Immortal out. He hasn't actually got he's got no 2 Immortals out. Where is the second one hiding? Somewhere. But 2 Immortals against such a small number of roaches, he can just force field as he's doing and wreck through this.
Yeah, and he's cutting off, trading energy for units all the time. And that's exactly what he wants to do. The best thing going for KS.aGaham is he's got 1-1. That's it, and roach speed's about to finish, but still it's going to be
+1 ground armor is about to finish up for the Protoss player. Does go down before the Forge is sniped. Big move, because that just means that the upgrade's now equal. The supply advantage is there for KS.aGaham, but those force fields were beautiful. The Immortals trying to get focused. One does go down, but so many roaches for that one Immortal. This is, well...
As soon as that second Immortal came out, I mean, he was just in so much control there. They do so much DPS. And this Mothership Core has been the silent observer this entire game, just constantly nibbling away and picking at the HP of the roaches, really putting a clock on any engagement, and they're trying to push forward, but with 2 Immortals again, and good force fielding, these roaches can't do anything.
And I'm surprised actually that Harstem didn't go for he was trying to get off that just complete force field bubble. But Time Warp, absolutely amazingly used, means that these roaches will take more damage. The force field's being used exceptionally well. And yeah, Harstem's just going to keep moving forward. There's no Hydralisk cabin coming out or anything like that, so that just means that ultimately KS.aGaham doesn't have the Roach Hydra transition, just meaning that as you're pumping Immortals and more gateway units, there's no real follow-up to him.
And he's got 7 gateways now, 2 more being added, so going to up to 9 gateway robo. Twilight Council's down for his transition, but I'm not sure he's going to need it. He's just going to warp in and go and kill him now.
And he's perfectly well defended. He's got the double forge there. He can warp in some units, and there's ultimately only 5 roaches. He's got his third up, and yeah, you're completely correct, actually, Greedy Farmer, that ultimately Harstem can just go and end this with this proxy pylon.
Yep. Just waiting for this to finish. Warpins are going to occur, and then AGAHAM's really got nothing left to do. Roaches on move command. Oh my god, so many free roaches there. Getting nice and close with the Immortal. One goes down, but I mean, there's so many Stalkers and Immortals here that these roaches just have nowhere to go.
The force fields are brilliant. It's, well, look at how cost effective Harstem's being, ultimately. 4,000 resources lost compared to 6,500 of AGAHAM, and now just, you have more force fields hitting right on the mark.
And there we go, AGAHAM GG's out. That is the end of our first game in this series.